Beyond all of that, do you, as an artist, feel like you've told your story?
Well, you know, which story? I mean, every movie is really a time capsule. When you finish your film and you say goodbye to your cast and crew, you've buried a piece of your life right there on that set, you know, and that's going to stay there forever. And those movies are going to mark time in your life. And you look back, I mean, I can understand dates in my life based on two things: when my kids were born and when my movies were made. And every single movie I've made, every single child that's come into this world, for me, has marked a chapter. And that's why it's just fun to see how many chapters you can get out of this book. But if I ever see myself the way you see me, then I have to retire. I can't work anymore, because that's when I'll start copying myself. I'll start cloning. I'll no longer have a subjective experience filmmaking. I'll simply be imitating the person that you think I am. And I'll be using you as a guide. It's kind of like an artist doing self-portraits. You know, I don't ever want to do that consciously. I simply look in all of my films for one character that I could tell my story through. You know, it doesn't mean that I'm putting myself in his shoes and I am him. It just means that I need to see through somebody's eyes so I can have a point of view. I was taught by my mom and dad that in Judaism, the most important prayer is Shema Yisrael, Hear O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. And it was taught to me from childhood that the most important thing I could do as a Jew was to listen. And that wasn't a way for a parent to say, I know more than you, I'm the boss, you shut up, I'll do all the talking. That wasn't that way at all. They meant listen to yourself. Listen to those little whispers that we tend to not want to hear because they're too soft, and we tend to somehow listen to the shout, not the whisper. And so listening carefully is what I was taught all my life. And I'm just saying that when people don't listen, it's not that they don't learn, they just deny themselves tremendous opportunities and glorious choices. They deny themselves this, and it's their own damn fault.
How much do I need to know about equipment and the technical part to be able to say, okay, let's try it?
I think it's important to understand some of that, and you can get it also by watching films, and watch films with the sound off. Not with the sound on. If you want to know about craft and technique and the tools of the trade and why a close-up and why a master and why that insert, then turn the sound off. Writers, forgive me, I'm not undermining your essential and main contribution, but I think if you want to know about where to put the camera, just try. See if the writer and the director in collaboration could tell the story without the dialogue. See if there's enough visual information that helps illustrate the story. And if there is, somebody is doing the right thing.
Good evening. My name is Tatiana Prisco. I have two questions. One is, if you could save one moment on screen to symbolize your craft and your vision, what would that be? And the second question is, what is your definition of acting?
Ooh. The last question is a tough question. It's kind of like 10 bonus points if I get this right. Well, I guess the image, and once again, you know, I'm self-conscious thinking about an image from my movies that I'm going to parade out in front of all of you, because there isn't just one image that is symbolic for anything. But if there is a single image that, for me, stands for what I believe in, it's the image of the little boy in Close Encounters opening the door to all of that light coming through, all of the light from whatever was out there, and not knowing what was out there, and that little boy having a chance, having the curiosity to go out there and touch it and be warmed by it and be curious about it, to me is symbolic for a lot of stuff I believe in. You want me to define acting? Well, for one thing, acting is not being afraid to be made a fool of, and having the courage to have people laugh at you and still do it, and still want to do it. And acting, to me, is about courage.